Hello, Molly. Do you remember me? My name is Kiri. I made you a video showing you my homestead, my animals, and I really hope you enjoyed that video. But I wanted to make you a video of my friend's farm. You see, I have a friend who lives only a few miles away from me, which is practically next door here. And if you remember, I live in Texas, so my friend lives in Texas. And she has a very unique farm. It's not anything like my farm, and it's probably not like any farm you've ever seen before. My friend does not raise cows. She does not raise sheep. She doesn't raise goats. She has no ducks, no guineas, no quail, no rabbits. She doesn't even have a chicken. Can you believe that? No chickens. So you might be wondering, Molly, what does she raise? What on earth does she raise? Well, first of all, I want to show you her fence. I'm sitting in front of a gate. See how high her gate is? It's called a high fence because it's 8 feet tall. Can you imagine how high that is? I don't know how tall your daddy is, but I know he's not 8 feet tall. So this fence is much taller than your dad is. That gives you an idea just how tall this fence is. So Molly, you're probably wondering, what on earth could she be raising that would need such a tall fence? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's deer. But Molly, my friend doesn't raise just any kind of deer. You see, there's a bunch of different varieties of deer, different breeds of deer. Now, like the white-tailed deer, that's a native deer to Texas and other parts of the country. And a native animal is an animal that they've always been here. This is their natural habitat. Even thousands of years ago, they were still here. Hundreds of years ago, they lived here. Long before we came here, this type of animal lived here, and that's a white-tailed deer. The white-tailed deer are native to Texas and a lot of other parts of the country. But there are other countries and other parts of the world have other kinds of deer. And when you take those deer, like an axis deer is from India. And a long time ago, somebody imported an axis deer, and so it's called an exotic. Any animal that's natural habitat is in another part of the world is called an exotic, because the U.S. is not their natural habitat. For the axis deer, their natural habitat is India. But they were brought here to be farmed. And so that's what my friend raises. She raises axis deer. Now see, it would be illegal for her to raise white-tailed deer because they're native here, but it's legal for her to raise axis deer because they're exotic. That's just the way the law is. So she can raise axis deer, she can keep them confined behind a fence, but only axis deer and other deer that are exotics, not white-tailed deer or any deer native to the United States. She can't do that. So, and the thing about deer, Molly, deer like to jump. A deer can jump a 6-foot fence, but they can't jump an 8-foot fence. So if you just have a 5 or 6-foot fence, your deer will jump out. Whereas if you have an 8-foot fence, you can keep them confined. And that's why, Molly, when you come to Texas and you're in the ranch country, you'll occasionally come across these really tall fences because they're to keep deer or other exotic animals confined. And we have a lot of ranches in Texas that have animals like giraffes, zebras, emus. An emu is a big bird, kind of like an ostrich, but ostrich is even bigger than an emu. Molly. So there's all sorts of these ranches that have really high fences to keep deer and other exotic animals in. But my friend, she doesn't just raise axis deer. She also raises Aoudids. Now, Aoudid is kind of like a sheep, but it's not the kind of sheep that you're probably used to seeing, where you have to shear it. Most homesteads, they raise sheep that you have to shear, or something called hair sheep that you don't have to shear those. But those are domestic sheep. An Aoudid is an exotic. It is not a domestic sheep. And an Aoudid comes from a continent called Africa. And so it takes you over more than a day in an airplane to get to Africa and India. They're really, really far away. And so, yeah, they're not even anywhere near the United States. So they're far. But people brought these animals over and they farm them. They, build these high fences to keep them in. So that's what my friend raises. She raises axis deer and Aoudids. Now, she does have a few barn cats, and I'm not sure where they are. It's pretty hot, so I'm assuming they're asleep under the house or somewhere cool. And she's got a puppy, and I'll show you her puppy playing with one of her deer. Now, the puppy's name, by the way, is Sadie. But these animals aren't like most of the farm animals you see in the videos. They're scared of people. They're not tame. They're wild. And so I couldn't get very close to them. I had to shoot from far away. And my camera isn't the best camera, Molly. I wish I had a better camera and I could have taken better pictures for you, Molly, but I couldn't. I did the best I could. But one of her axis deer she got when it was a baby. Molly, that deer is named Gaston. And he had to be given a bottle, so he's not afraid of people. And so I got really close-up pictures of Gaston, and I got pictures of Gaston with Sadie, the dog. So I'm going to show you those pictures, okay? But I wish I could have done better, Molly. I did the best I can, but I wanted to share this unique ranch with you. And this kind of ranch, this kind of farm, is very common in Texas. I don't know if it's common anywhere else in the country, but it's common here in Texas. And so I wanted to share it with you. I hope you enjoy watching the video, the footage of these animals, Molly. And thank you. And I just want to say once again, like I did in my first video, that you are a very special girl. Because anybody who likes animals is special. So you have a good day and enjoy the rest of this video. Bye-bye, Molly. Molly, this is Gaston. Like I said, he's an axis deer. Axis don't lose their spots. Most baby deer, which are called fawns, will have spots and they'll lose their spots. But axis deer never lose their spots. They keep their spots forever. And this metal, big, huge metal contraption, that's actually a corn feeder. You put corn in the top, and there's a timer, and ever so often, it throws corn out. And deer and other animals love corn, and they'll come over here when they hear the noise and they will eat up all the corn. And it's good food for them and they just love it. Molly, if you look far away, see way in the background some movement? Those are deer and Aoudad running. I know it's hard to see. I couldn't get very close because they were so scared of me. I'm sorry. I wish I could have gotten closer, Molly. But can you see them way far away running? Molly, do you see way in the background the Aoudad are just standing there, and in the foreground is Gaston. Molly, I got this picture off the internet so you can see what Aoudad look like. This is a picture of Aoudad, Molly. Molly, this is Sadie, the puppy. Often Sadie and Gaston will play together and have all sorts of fun. Gaston will butt Sadie and Sadie will just play, and they really enjoy each other. But today they didn't want to play, at least not Gaston.
I think it's just too hot still.
Yeah. Molly, I hope you enjoyed this video of the animals. Bye-bye, Molly. You have a nice day, and thank you for watching.